Now, if I told you to think of Batman, one of the first things that would come to mind will either be his mask or his batarangs. Now today I'm going to be showing you how to make one of these batarangs, and this mask we'll cover in another video. So without further ado, I'm Adam, welcome to Max 3D Makes, and let's get straight to it. So, Batman. He's been around for a long time. We've seen him across lots of different medias, from comics to TV to film. Some of his most notable appearances are Kevin Conroy's Batman, who's featured across a lot of the animated series.
I am vengeance. I am the Knight. I am Batman.
Got Michael Keaton's Batman from the Tim Burton films.
You're...
Yeah. I'm Batman.
And of course we've got Christian Bale's Batman from the Dark Knight Trilogy.
What the hell are you? I'm Batman. Nice coat. Thanks.
And that's who we're going to be focusing on today, and whose Batarang we're going to be making. So to do this, we're going to start by 3D printing the files out, and then we're going to tidy them up a little bit, give them a bit of paint, and then do a little bit of weathering. So first things first, we need to pop over to our slicer and find the exact file that we want to print, as well as the display stand that we're going to use to display it on when we're done. So here we are on Makerworld, and we're going to type in Batarang, and as you can see, there we go, we've got the first one that pops up here. This is what we're going to print, so let's click on this, and we will literally just open this straight into Bamboo Studio. First we're going to select P1S for the right print profile. Let's go. So here we are in the Bamboo Slicer. As you can see, we've got the Batarang on plate number 1, and we've got the stand on plate number 2. Now it's in 2 colours for printing in multicolour with an AMS unit, but I am going to turn off the second colour for those of you who aren't printing with an AMS unit like I am. So first of all, we'll start with the Batarang. We're going to scale this up because in the film they use Batarangs that are about 19 centimetres long, so we're going to scale that up to 190. What? I'm so confused. Why is that so big?
What? What the fuck?
Now, in the film, they used one that was about 19 centimetres long, so we're going to scale this up on the y-axis to 190. There we go. That is about accurate to the size that it is in the film. And then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this file. So we're going to right click, we're going to click clone, and we're going to click one clone. So now we've got 2 Batarangs on the build plate. And what we're going to do is we're going to control and left click both of those, and then we're going to right click and click center. And that's going to put them both in the middle of the build plate. So now we've got both of these aligned on the build plate, right in the middle. We're going to click one at a time, and we're going to click the variable layer height. We're going to drop this down to quality, and we're going to click adaptive. We're also going to click the same for this one and make that adaptive as well. That's going to make our edges a little bit nicer and give us some slightly tighter layer lines, which is going to stop it from looking so steppy in a way. Now we're going to go over to here, and we're going to double check how much this is scaled up by looking back at the scale. It's at 16.48%, so we're going to click on this one and we're going to make that 16.48 as well. And that scales our stand up to the same size as the Batarangs. Now the reason we've got 2 is because if we go to the cross section, you will see, there we go, we've got half a Batarang here. Now it's going to look okay on display, but if we want something that looks a little bit more functional, we can do 2 halves and then glue them together afterwards. So that's what we're going to do. Now we've got these, we can slice the plates. No other work is needed. We're going to use a 0.4mm nozzle with standard flow, and once that is sliced, it's 49 minutes and 30 seconds, and the stand is 45 minutes and 53 seconds. There we go. Not a lot of filament, only 20 grams for the stand and 21.6 for the Batarangs. So without further ado, we will click print plate. There we go. We'll do bed leveling because I've not done it in a while, but you don't have to. And we'll turn on the time lapse so you can see what's happening. So let's send that over to the printer. Okay, here we are. So we've got the two Batarangs have finished. We can pop off the purge strip, give the plate a peel. Let's pop it off. Give it a peel up like that. You can see it lifts off nicely. Pop the plate back on, and now we can see that these lift off nicely. We've got our two halves of our Batarangs. Now we just need to do the base plate. So we'll pop the plate all the way back on, line it up, and then drop it. There we go. And we'll start the next piece. And there's the base that's finished, so we can peel off that purge strip again, give it a pop, and pull it off. Job done. So now we've got our base printed and we've got our Batarang pieces. We can take these over to the workshop, get them sprayed with some primer, get them painted with some black paint, and then we can work on the finishing touches, and then that's the job done. Okay, so here we are in the workshop. As you can see, we've got the two Batarangs on here. This is just a cheap decorating table for cakes, but it works really well for spray painting as well without having to touch the parts. As you can see, we've got them on here. They're nice and clean. We're going to use some grey primer for body shops, and then we'll just give it a quick spray. There we go. So they are nice and coated now. I'm just going to go and turn the extraction on, but we'll leave those to dry, and then we'll do the base as well. Okay, now that we've got everything primered and everything is well ventilated, we're going to go with a high coat again with some matte black spray paint. Just give these a quick coat over the top. Let's do that now. So for the paint, now that we've sprayed the Batarangs, we're going to be using a Rust-Oleum Gunmetal Metallic, and that's going to make this really stand out. And what we can do then is we can go over the wet lettering with a bit of gold model paint, and that'll really make it pop. So let's hit that with the spray paint. Okay, so now we've got these all spray painted and it's dry. As you can see, we've only done the one side. We've got the bare plastic on the back and the paint on one side. So what we're going to do is just put a bit of super glue onto one of these pieces. Careful not to go too close to the edges because we don't want too much to bleed out. We're just going to trace the general shape and just do a little dab here and there. And work it around with the nozzle, but without squeezing anything out. What that does is that evenly dissipates the super glue, and because it's bare plastic we should get really good adhesion. So what we're going to do now is literally just pop that on the top. So now we've got a nice Batarang. It's painted on both sides and has that bevel on both sides as well. All we need to do now is do a little bit of painting. So we're going to be using some Tamiya Chrome model paint. This is the X11 acrylic model paint, and we're going to open this up. And then we're using a artist paintbrush, just a cheap one with relatively flat but soft bristles. What we're going to do is we're going to put it into the jar, give it a little bit of a mix up in the process. Not use this paint in a while. Wipe off most of the excess on the inside of the jar, just like that. We just want a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our little paint palette here, dab most of the excess off, like so. Then we'll double check, because we really don't want a lot. And then what we're going to do is on the inside edge here, we're just going to lightly brush the paint along the inside edge, just like that. We'll do the same coming round. There we go. And then up the side there as well, and up the side there as well. And then we'll go just on the inside of the head, like that. And then we'll do the same on this side. So straight up the inside of the head, around the inside like so, and then the same here as well. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us a really nice metal look. And then what we're going to do is for the top edge here and the bevels all the way around, we're going to paint that in a solid silver. Now I've accidentally got a few finger marks on the blade there, and what that's done is put a bit of silver straight onto the face of the bat. Now you can either top that up with some black, just go over it again with a bit of spray paint and top up with some model paint, or you can dabble the excess off with the brush, like so, and then lightly brush, and all that will do is give the appearance of some scuffs and scratches on your Batarang. Entirely up to you, it's your project, you can cope with it however you would like. There you go. So now we just need to do the edges on this side, and then we can go straight onto the base. Touch it, is our finished Batarang. So now we'll move on to the base. So moving on to the base, we've got the same kind of model paint again. This is the Tamiya X12 Gold Leaf acrylic model paint. We'll give it a good shake, and then we will pop the cap off. We've got a different brush this time. Again, it's just a cheap painting model brush, but this time we've got slightly stiffer bristles, and that's really going to help us stop any overspill onto the base below, because we're just going to be doing the lettering on the very top without getting the paint underneath. And then for the rest of it, like the top here, it doesn't matter too much because it's going to be easy to control, but the lettering doesn't come up too high, so it's going to be a little bit more on the tricky side to try and control, but I still think we can do it. We have it all done. So there we are, that's the project finished. You've got your finished base, and you've got your finished Batarang. All you've got to do, put them together, sit your Batarang on your base in the little grooves at the top, and that's your finished display model. Now of course you can put a couple of dabs of super glue in and it will stay where it is, or you can keep it separately like this and you're able to take it off and pass it around, show your friends, let them have a feel, throw it at a wall, but do it carefully. It's entirely up to you. Now the one that I showed you at the beginning of the video was one I made the other day. It's a little bit different. I've not gone quite as heavy with the battle damaging on it, but it is still silver. But you can do whatever you like with these. You can paint them gold, you can do extra battle damaging. With the bases you can go different colours. The one I did the other day doesn't have the extra gold trims on it like we've done today. It's entirely up to you, it's your project. You can do it however you want. You can follow this tutorial as closely as you like, or you can go off on your own tangent and just use some of the techniques that I've taught you. Whatever works for you. Now I'm going to come back and do some more tutorials on different props and projects. I'm going to show you how to do the Batman helmet. We're going to work on some other Marvel and DC stuff. So if you did like what you've seen today, drop a like below. Give me a comment on something you'd like to see me work on. And of course, if you really like the videos and you want to see some more, subscribe to my channel. But yeah, that comes to an end for today's video. Really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.